Welcome back, my fellow hoopheads. So last week I said I was gonna start showing off some of my cards every so often, and today I have 10 cards, some Hall of Famers, patches, autos, graded cards. So let's get started. This is a relatively recent pickup for me, and pardon the glare, my ring light's gonna show a little bit. Just not gonna be able to get around that, but here's a PSA 10 of the Upper Deck Jordan. Let's see if we can focus that a little better. Jordan promo card. Um, this was my first set that I actually intentionally collected the entire set. So I still remember going to the LCS and just looking at this card. I don't remember the cost of it at the time. It might have been like $25 or more. Um, Obviously ungraded at that time, and just thinking it was one of the coolest things, especially since I was collecting the actual base set. I even went so far to collect the rookie standout insert set and the holograms. The next group of cards, I kind of grouped them together for an overall theme. Three of them will be the same player, and then the rest is kind of like a story, kind of branching off that player. This is the oldest card in my collection, 1957 Topps Slater Martin, and I got that in a PSA 7. He is a Hall of Famer. I think he had 7 All Stars, 5 NBA championships. Started 4 NBA championships with the Minneapolis Lakers and 1 with the St. Louis Hawks. And like I told you, the ring on the cards, I can see the ring on my glasses, but in order for me to read, it is what it is. So same player, but here is a patch card, a flawless patch card. And maybe that's a little angle, so I can put it there. Um, Flawless patch card. And this is out of 15 and game used, either part of the jersey or part of the warm up. My guess with that large of a patch is probably part of the number. So this was for his stint on the St. Louis Hawks. And then if you would like to look at that, but that Slater Martin patch card I just showed you was my first experience with the new eBay offer. I mean, it's probably been at least a half a year that it's been in place, where you would make an offer, and if it was accepted, it would automatically pay. Well, I didn't get a notification, so that card that I just showed you was my second option. The first option that I made an offer on and did not know that it was accepted because I was expecting to get a notification, some sort of notification, whether it was like I paid or the offer was accepted. I actually was searching back for the card. It wasn't there. And without the notification, I stupidly didn't check my purchases. And I thought someone else bought it. So I'll show you the card, my first option. And I decided to keep both of them. I don't know if that will be the case going forward, but I really, I just really like gold patches. I think it's really cool. And there's only 2 brands that I'm seeing. I mean, I guess not brands; they're both Panini, but 2 different sets where a Slater Martin patch card is there. Now, here was the first option, and you'll see very quickly why this was my first option. This is 3 out of 5 in the patch, and that is ridiculous. Looks like to be part of the A and Hawks. And there's the back, but I mean, that's just the wording, and then obviously it says game used down there on their little disclaimer. Slater Martin won 5 total championships, 4 with the Minneapolis Lakers, and those 4. This next guy is probably the biggest reason, both figuratively and literally. And here is a jersey card of George Mikan, and that is out of 10. And he is the Hall of Fame class of 1959. Now, I think that's a cool little jersey part. Not sure what that is from. I think it's probably probably trim, whether it's the trim on the like where the waistband was, or maybe trim on even a warm up. So there's the back. But again, you usually just see old looking one color, just like white jersey pieces, and that's a cool 2 color with the white piece going down. Now the other title that was Slater Martin was a part of was with the St. Louis Hawks, and again, probably the biggest reason for that title, both figuratively and literally, was the St. Louis Hawks center, and that would be Bob Pettit. And that is, you can see with the diamond 75th anniversary team, flawless auto. There's the back that clearly shows the 75th team. And I think he was like 27 points and like 17 rebounds, something ridiculous. But his field goal percentage is like, I think it was in the 40%, like low 40s, which is not good for a center. And that's obviously, it was a different game, but just pretty interesting thing to look at. And probably quite a bit with that field goal percentage is a lot of the game was just compact around the hoop. So where we obviously today's game is spread out, we would think any inside scoring would be 50+%. The game was more like, I'm just gonna say, as like an analogy to kind of picture it, just think of youth soccer where everybody's surrounding the ball. Well, that's basically it in the paint around the hoop. There were just so many people around you that just having the space to get a good shot off without being smothered or surrounded, just a completely different game. Now here's the last card of my kind of connection. That St. Louis Hawks team won I think it was the 1958 championship. It was 58 or 59, but I think it was 58. And the team that they built and beat, it was this next guy's only loss in 12 NBA finals. So he won 11 championships, and I think right then and there, ding, 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 yes. You know who the next one is? So here's Bill Russell, and there's game used patch. Not a lot of game used patch, but I mean, I had to jump on that once I saw it. I will eventually hope to upgrade that to a better patch, but I mean, I got what I could get for right now, and I'm very happy to have a Bill Russell game used patch. So I have 3 more cards I'm going to show, and that was kind of, like I said, that was kind of like the end of the connection of the kind of like string of story that I had go around there. the next card is the namesake of the Spike Lee's movie He Got Game, and that would be Ray Allen's Jesus Shuttlesworth. Well, he is named after Earl Monroe. Now, there's a patch auto, and that's an on-card auto. And that patch is, I think, the older. There was a stretch, I believe, that the Knicks did not, that wore jerseys where it only had a number on the front. You'll see Bernard King wear like pictures of Bernard King with it quite a bit. I believe that's the one where it's the darker orange. I believe these New York jerseys always had a lighter orange. Could be mistaken, but looking at it, there's different colors, and that's what I think. Now, there's the back. So let's take a little closer look at the auto. And I have another Earl Monroe autograph. I just don't have it currently on me. So I think when I pull that out, I will show these side by side. But look at that autograph. I believe he signed that, and it's a little tougher to see on camera, but I believe he signed that Jesus Monroe, and it will be easier to see because that's clearly not an E. And once I show you his, and in the future when I show you his autograph, or I mean, you can go on eBay and quickly see. I believe he actually put Jesus there. I believe that's a J. You can kind of see an E and then an S-U-S. So I think that's kind of cool. He obviously most known for the nickname Pearl. Jesus was one of his nicknames, switched into Black Jesus. But I think Jesus was one of his first nicknames. And it had to do with, I think, just how creative and what he could do on the court. I think people were kind of saying that it was just unbelievable, like magic, magicians type of handle with the ball. So with the Olympics just passing, and I guess basically the emergence of Nikola Jokic, I think this guy, I think, kind of had a resurgence of maybe being talked about a little bit in the NBA kind of historical sense of kind of like a what could have been. And that is Arvydas Sabonis. So there's a patch auto. So there's his auto. Nice patch from his time in Portland. There's my eBay authentication for when I got it. Sneak it over there, I guess. So, just a quick background if you're not so familiar. He started professional basketball, I think he was around 15 or 16, over in the Soviet Union. Played on the Soviet Union Olympic team that won the gold medal in 1988, and then played for Lithuania. And I believe the Lithuania team was bronze in 1992. He was drafted in 1985 by the Atlanta Hawks, but that pick was voided because he was under the age of 21. Then tore his Achilles, and in 1986 draft, the Blazers selected him, I think, with like their 27th pick. I'm not sure exactly, but it was like late first round, or at that point in time, it might have been a second round pick at that in that day and age of the NBA. But he did not come over until the 96-97 season, and from what I'm seeing is he was basically blocked from the Soviet Union from coming over and playing professionally in the NBA. And I think most people know him, or I think most people know his son, Domantas Sabonis. And he is just one of the big what ifs He's known as one of the best European big men ever and a phenomenal passer. And he was 7'3" and he was massive. So very similar to Jokic. I don't remember him being like a 3-point shooter, but he had good range. So, I mean, at that point in time, centers were just not out that far. So I don't know if it's probably one of those things that he probably could shoot quite a few threes if he were in the current NBA, but obviously the game was different back in 96, 97 with season. I mean, back in mid 90s for centers. So he came over the NBA when he was 30. And then I just read something that when he came over that they looked at his medical report and basically said that he could qualify for being handicapped, um, getting like one of those tags for handicap parking or so forth. He played, I think, around 5 or 6 seasons, and then went back over to play. I think back over in Lithuania. And my last card, and I told you last week I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, so I got to sneak these in every once in a while. Here's a Patty Mills patch auto, and I could not find an on-card auto with a patch. That's actually, I mean, I think you can kind of see that there's the sticker. And Patty just announced that he is retiring from international play for Australia, and he's coming up on his retirement probably soon in the NBA. He's just signed a 1-year deal with the Utah Jazz. He had some streaky seasons for the Nets, but I think most people remember him being a spark plug for the Spurs, and he's generally just a good guy. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.